The 2009 racing season for the American Boat Racing Association opened in Madison, Indiana on the 4th of July weekend. A strong 11-boat field was on hand, including a new entry, Mike Webster's U-22, sponsored by Surf Pro. The event marked the return to Madison of Dave Villwock and the U-16 Miss Elam Plus, after the team had run only a partial season in 2008. Villwock made his presence felt early, establishing the fastest qualifying speed of 155.004. But hometown favorite and defending national high point champion Steve David in the Oh Boy Oberto was only a half mile per hour slower at 154.551. J. Michael Kelly joined the FormulaBoats.com team driving the U7 Graham Trucking alongside longtime friend Jeff Bernard in the U5. The two qualified Ted Porter's Red Boats third and fourth. The luck of the draw was not with Steve David as he drew Villwock in all three preliminary heats. In 1A, David was penalized for striking a buoy while battling Villwock for the lead and finished third behind Villwock and Kip Brown in the U17. Disaster struck in Heat 1B as Jean Theoret in the U37 Bellows Pizza blew over in turn 1 while leading. Theoret was treated for water ingestion and hospitalized for several days. Villwock went undefeated through the weekend, including the final heat, with second place going to J. Michael Kelly. Steve David and the Oberto were running fourth when Jimmy King had engine problems in Miss Chrysler Jeep while running third. The hometown team settled for a disappointing third place. The following week, the Unlimited fleet moved on to Detroit for the 100th running of the Chrysler Jeep Superstore's APBA Gold Cup. The first question was, could anyone outqualify Villwock in the bright orange Elam? Again, Steve David and the Oberto came close, posting a 157.3 to Villwock's 159. Steve David had better luck with the draw, not facing Villwock in any of the four prelims, and scored 4 heat wins. Villwock incurred a penalty in Heat 4A, the only blemish on a so far perfect season. In the final, Villwock used a low-speed crawling start to secure lane 1 and ran away from the field to win his 7th Gold Cup, his 58th career victory. Steve David parlayed a great weekend in the U1 Oh Boy Oberto to score lane 1 in the winner-take-all final of the 2009 Lamb Weston Columbia Cup in the Tri-Cities. From there, the defending Columbia Cup champion cruised to victory. J.W. Myers, subbing for Jean Theoret in the U37 Haas Mortgage Investors, gave Jeff Bernard a great battle for second place before settling for third, while Bernard held on at the finish for second. For David and the Oberto team, it was a near-perfect weekend. He won all 4 of his heats, with the only glitch coming in the form of a 150-point penalty in Heat 1A on Saturday for a lane infraction. That reduced the team's points for the win from 400 to 250 and kept two-time 2009 winner Dave Villwock, driver of the U16 Elstrom's Elam Plus, atop the national high point standings after the Saturday heats. But as the weekend wore on, Villwock and the Elam team encountered continued bad luck. They were hampered by electrical problems with the usually flawless boat, as well as a string of infractions that reduced their point total going into the final to just 95. Villwock was the trailer boat in the final, finishing in 4th place. J. Michael Kelly survived a scary and spectacular accident when his U7 Graham Trucking took to the sky while chasing Steve David in Heat 2A. The boat did more than a complete revolution in the air before landing upside down. But Kelly got himself out of the boat and was standing on the bottom waiting when rescue crews arrived. David won the final and scored 1,450 points over the course of the event to just 564 for Villwock. Jeff Bernard was second, J.W. Myers third in the U37. The Oberto team would head to Seattle leading in high points with a 599-point advantage over their rivals on Team Elam. The Chevrolet Cup at Seafair again found Villwock and David atop the qualifying ladder, with Villwock and Team Elam again edging out the Oberto team 154.3 to 152.5. Jimmy King drove his piston-powered U3 to victory in Heat 2A, beating both Vilwalk and David. Myers won 2B in the U37. Vilwalk and David then scored wins in 3A and 3B. When the field took to a rough Lake Washington for the final heat, Vilwalk had earned the right to choose lane 1, which he did. Steve David and the Oberto stayed right on his hip over 3 laps. Then, in the rough north turn, the Oberto hit a huge hole and nearly went over. David got the boat back on the water, but the engine had been jarred into injured status, and the U1 slowed with a heating problem. The misfortune that befell challenger Dave Vilwalk and the U16 Elstrom Elam Plus the previous weekend at the Lamb Weston Columbia Cup in the Tri-Cities had given the Oberto team a nice lead going into Seafair. But as David nursed an ailing turbine home in the final, he was passed by the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place boats, dropping from 300 second place points to just 95 for a 6th place finish. Jimmy King and J.W. Myers capped strong weekends for their teams, finishing 2nd and 3rd. Vilwalk's 400-point first-place finish capped a strong weekend, which saw him cut Team Oberto's lead to just 249 points, with 2 events left in the 2009 season. And when the fleet arrived in Evansville, the anticipated battle between the point leaders happened early and was over quickly. In Heat 1A, with David and Vilwalk racing side by side through a very rough turn 2, the Oberto unhooked and bounced toward the Elam Plus. Vilwalk crashed and saw his day and his opportunity to gain valuable points ended. The ensuing penalty moved David to an outside lane in the final, which saw Jimmy King and Ed Cooper's piston-powered Master Tire have the field covered until a broken propeller broke the hearts of the U3's local fans. Jeff Bernard took the win in the U5 FormulaBoats.com with teammate J. Michael Kelly second in the U7 Graham Trucking. Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto finished 3rd. The inaugural running of the Oryx Cup UIM World Championship gave the race teams a chance to experience a country and culture halfway around the world, and gave the new fans the most exciting race of the 2009 season. The season High Points Championship was Steve David's to lose, and he almost did. In Heat 4A, David drove hard into Turn 2, trying to get ahead of J. Michael Kelly. Online viewers in 32 countries watched as the Oberto rose into the Doha sky and somersaulted toward certain destruction. But the U1 landed right side up with minimal damage and was soon back in the pits on the trailer and would answer the call for the final. A final heat that had to be restarted after Jeff Bernard and the U5 tangled with the U16's Rooster Tail. Bernard was okay, but the boat was finished for the day. On the restart, Steve David was in lane 3, needing a 2nd place finish to wrap up the season championship. With a backup engine in the boat, he was not catching Vilwalk or Kelly. Vilwalk and the U16 had the final and the Oryx Cup under control, until flames out the turbine exhaust spelled trouble. On the final lap, a limping Vilwalk was passed by J. Michael Kelly on his way to his first unlimited victory, and by Steve David, with his 2nd place finish giving Team Oberto the 2009 High Point Championship. A season that had the usual thrills and spills ended with one of the most successful events in the sport's history, and saw the newly renamed H1 Unlimited Series racing across new horizons, bringing the drama and excitement created by the world's fastest race boats to a worldwide audience.